used to that.
Bobby, let's get to Bobby D right now. He's out in the rain. It's cold. He's got a hat on. Things are happening with the Occupy protesters. Bobby, take it away.
Hey, Tony. Yeah, I'm not the only one who's cold out here. I can tell you that the crowd beginning to disperse just a bit. I think because it's damp out here, it's also cold, and really the protesters aren't being allowed to go much further than this. You can see the cops here for the Long Beach Police Department have a skirmish line, and they're not letting them go any further. This is the entrance to SSA Marine. It is one of the shipping companies here that this Occupy Ports wants to try to disrupt. I can tell you, I don't think they've disrupted much of anything this morning. First of all, this is not an area where it's seemingly these trucks go back and forth and take the containers and the goods outside of the port, bring them in. This is an area where apparently the employees come in to work during the day, and it looks like those employees just went through a separate entrance. So looks like some of the Occupy Port folks here are holding their ground here, but the cops are telling them to move back and go to an area that's in a
wooden back massage.
Why not? Wooden back massages. I didn't even know. That would be wonderful in this cold climate. But they're asking folks to pull back. We'll see. We've seen so far just one arrest here this morning, but lots of folks looks like they're going to hold their ground here, and we'll see if the Occupy, the Long Beach Police begin to push some of these folks back. But the crowd beginning to dissipate. There are some pretty, I would say, stalwart folks out here that do not want to move a bit, and I would imagine now that they're locking their arms, this would indicate that they are going to agree to be arrested if they don't move. All right, we're going to move back because I don't want us to be in the middle of this. Come over here. There you go.
We have to take direct action to them, you know.
We're going to move back to this area, but here, as we turn around here, you can see the line of Long Beach Police over here, and on the other side, you can see the folks who are.
Hey, Bobby.
Wow, that was live.
Yes. Bobby, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was there a woman in a wheelchair who was being wheeled back as well? I just saw her go by. Is that happening as well?
Yeah, there's a woman over here. She's in a wheelchair, and you see that the cops here slowly beginning to move up there, and there's a woman in a wheelchair just over there. I don't think it's going to stop cops from arresting her if they start to move this skirmish line forward.
And how far back are they going to push everybody? Where does this go?
Well, if they give the order to disperse, and there's a failure to disperse here, from what I understand, this is actually private property. So this is an area in the ports that's leased by a certain company, and if the company says that they don't want them here, they can have them evicted, have them pushed out of here. So there is a designated, the Occupy folks actually had applied for some sort of a permit to come out here and protest. There's a small area to the side where they are allowed to protest, and this area, which is a thoroughfare for the employees to come in and out, is not supposed to be obstructed. So feasibly, if the police tell them they need to move and this is an unlawful assembly, they can arrest them for not dispersing.
Bobby, it's 7:38. We saw earlier that there were many people there earlier. Is the crowd continuing to grow as we get on throughout the morning?
You know, my guess is, from what I could gather, it looks like there are people who are leaving. There are some very dedicated protesters here who are refusing to leave. But from what I can tell, most folks are moving back. And they're just in fact, it looks like a lot of people are beginning to move back. I don't know if they're going to take their protest elsewhere and move back to. We walked, by the way, a good 2 miles or so. If you look just over the distance there, that's where the Queen Mary, Spruce Goose, that's where this all began, and then the walk came all the way down here, and now it looks like the cops are pushing these folks back, and these protesters are moving back. I'm thinking that they are taking this to another location somewhere here in the port of Long Beach, but at this point, it looks like the crowds are just kind of following each other away from here.
Bobby, you mentioned it's about a 2-mile walk. Are they going to push them slowly like this for 2 miles?
It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. This, just this immediate area over here is the entryway or the private area where this company SSA, I think, has legal jurisdiction over. And should they push them back to another area here, you know, they could be blocking areas that are public thoroughfares, public areas where traffic goes through. And if that's the case, then I would guess that these cops could definitely push them back all the way. I mean, once you get back to closer to where the Queen Mary is, there is a park area. So it's a very wide and open area. And once you get past this main street over here, you get into an area where, you know, they feasibly could be protesting in a public park, and they could stay there as long as they'd like, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I know that park very well. Bobby, give me a sense of just, you're obviously in the middle of all of this. Give me a sense of the crowd, the people you've talked to, and their mood, and they seem a bit mellow. I mean, they want to obviously get their point out, but they're not too aggressive, it seems.
Well, this is what's interesting, Tony, is that from what I can see, these are folks from Occupy, from different areas that have been dismantled. Let's say I see Occupy Vegas here. I can see Occupy LA people here. Occupy Pasadena here. Now they're going after us.
What are they yelling?
It's hard to tell with the masks.
You name it, they're all out here. So, they have no one else to go after because they can't go after the companies because they're not getting to the companies, so they're getting at us.
So is it you, Bobby? Are they yelling? What's he saying?
Well, I'm just saying, why are you arguing at us? I'm just telling your story, gentlemen. Go ahead.
Well, that's interesting that he would turn on that.
Well, don't get mad at the messenger. We're getting your story out there.
Yeah, exactly. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be out there.
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
That's what Bobby's trying to tell him.
And they're beginning to disperse. I mean, I think there is a general frustration. You know, there was an original intent, I think, to try and shut down and shutter the ports. It almost is literally impossible to do that here. You can't get in. I mean, you know, even as members of the media, you can't just get in through these secure areas. Right. And now with, you know, Homeland Security, all of the issues with security for our ports, the issues are the concerns for terrorism. There is heavy security at what is together Long Beach and LA, the nation's busiest port.
And right behind you, too.
There are so many entry points, access points. There are 42 miles of waterfront. It is literally impossible to try and infiltrate this unless you have massive crowds. It's just not possible to try to do that. In addition to that, another frustration that they may have had is that the unions didn't support them. There was the Longshoremen's Union that decided not to be part of this, and also the California Truckers, not part of this protest as well. So those are big groups that could have stopped the operations here at this port. They didn't elect to support this group here this morning.